Welcome to the presentation. I'm Paul Bosenson. Measuring conversions equals measuring marketing. Let's go through the fun. This is going to be a comprehensive presentation on conversion tracking and measurement so that you can spend your money wisely. Here we go. Did it work? That's the most important thing of any kind of marketing plan you're going to doing. How do you know it works? Are you spending your money wisely? Are you tracking performance? And do you really understand the metrics? Do you know what percentage of your media is wasted? Do you want to know? Or would you like to reduce that waste? It's all about performance and results. So that's me, my cool look, Paul Mosenson, founder of New Spark Media Group. Been doing this for many, many, many years. And the focus is not just media planning and buying for B2B or B2C, but it's about the customer journey, optimizing everything from click to close. That's always been my focus. A little bit about me, my experience at advertising agencies and companies, growing them, contributing to their media campaigns, and running my own business as a performance media strategist and lead generator for B2B and B2C. So let's start with conversion. What exactly is that? Here's some definitions. Conversion is basically defined as an action on your website that you can track, showing that you might get a current customer or an existing customer because they filled out a form or they did a purchase. And so the key metric we track is conversion rate, which is the percentage of total people who come to your site or to a page, divided by how many people actually converted or became a lead or a sale. That's a conversion metric, conversion rate. So there's lots of ways to people to give up their information. The most common is a website form, right? Whether it's a B2B or B2C, contact us. Forms are the key conversion for the most part. For lead generation. And for e-commerce, it's purchases. So let's go over some B2B conversion elements here. Obviously, we're talking about lead form submissions, newsletter signups, content downloads, free trial signups, especially if you're a SaaS company, demo requests, event registrations if you're hosting a webinar, account creations, and if you're manufacturing, get quote requests. And for B2C, it's a little bit different, although a lot of it's the same. If you're e-commerce, it's a product purchase. I went to a website, I bought something. Now there's some other macro conversions as well you can track, especially when we're doing retargeting, and you may still be able to capture people who are guests went during the checkout. So we have add to cart conversion and a checkout initiation conversion. Then other ones are like newsletter signups or updates. Coupon or discount code usage, you can track that as a conversion on a special landing page within your forms. Text messaging, if you want to capture people to get updates. Of course, contact form submissions, and also website calls, which we'll talk about in a sec. Because if you're like a lawyer or HVAC or a company that relies on the phone call for a lead, then it's important to track that as well, besides forms. So typically in B2C, or anything really, you're tracking media with an offer, aka it's called direct response. We decide to plan a number of different kinds of offers, whether it's advertised or within your website or through social media. And then for non-digital tracking, which is a little more intricate because they're not going directly to a website. So that's where we talk about promoting promo codes, which is a great way to track radio and TV. If you want to do a discount or an offer and you're going to call or go to a landing page, use promo code 12345 and get your discount. Phone calls, again, we spoke about that just a few minutes ago. There's two kinds of ways to track phone calls. One is DNI, which is dynamic number insertion. And I resell tools that do that so that we can track unique phone numbers by where people are coming from, whether it's Google search or Facebook or display. Now, you can also use unique phone numbers for non-digital media. So again, tracking, for radio, TV, print, or mail. Again, this whole presentation is about measuring what works. Text messaging. You've seen that a lot on mostly television and perhaps radio, where you can test different segments of audiences by giving a unique text word so that you can track where people are coming from. Here's some examples of like a heart product. If you advertise on cable TV and you're selling a product, text heart health. If it's broadcast TV, text better health, or better heart, excuse me. Streaming radio, healthy heart. Radio, my heart. You'll have the same phone number because that's the text platform, but each media channel has its own texting keyword for tracking. And then they'll get a mobile URL to learn more about their landing page or get an offer. So vanity URLs is another way for people to remember a website when your website's really long and you want to advertise it. So they're usually redirected to your website. When this is an example of a vanity URL that goes to a UTM parameter, which is a Google tracking code, which we'll talk about later in this presentation. But you can see, how this works is you're going to track a source, a medium, and a campaign. But the vanity URL is the simple URL itself, and it gets redirected to your real URL. So here's some examples of how that works. Again, with a heart product, if you're advertising on cable TV and you want to advertise a vanity URL, you might buy these domains, helpmyheart.com, which redirects to your actual website with the tracking, cable, television, heart, as you go across under the example. Broadcast TV, heart health help. Radio is fix my heart. Direct mail is, direct mail, you're not worried about time, so it can be your actual domain, but /help me, then that gets redirected. And then newspaper, it's the same way. Again, everything can be redirected to a Google Analytics UTM parameter, it's called, to track the source, the medium, campaigns, and content of your promotion, so that we can track exactly where people are coming from on your Google Analytics. That's the whole idea. And you can do the same thing with QR code technology. Obviously, it's big right now. You see it on signage. You see it on television, of course. Direct mail piece you can put on. Again, you pick up your phone and you take a picture and you get a website URL sent to your phone, right? But that URL should be tracked again with a Google Analytics tracking parameter so that you know where people are coming from. Again, whether it's TV, radio, all those kinds of options. QR codes are not one fits all. You want to code it with the actual tracking URL in order to, track the media of where people are coming from who are doing QR codes. So with NewSpark, the whole idea is planning promotions, and this is just a quick example chart of how we do it. You can always pause the screen to read it, but you get an idea. It is a strategy to put together offers and time frames and build landing pages and how to redeem, how we're going to track it, and all those kinds of issues in order to make sure that we execute these promotions properly in order to build traffic for your business and leads and sales. The landing pages are really important, so you can study this, but this is the way we do it. It's like a checklist when we build them or review them and make sure the message is right, the offers are right, the call to action elements, proof and trust is important, testimonials, all those kinds of things. When you look at all these things together, we can bring quality traffic to your website or landing page, but they do have to convert. And landing pages have to sell and say, yes, this is what you need, and here's why. Fill out the form. So we're going to show some videos now of my team of AI avatars. So we'll see how this works as I record the screen.
Tracking campaigns across various dimensions, such as media channel, audience segment, and message, is crucial for spending your budget wisely. This multifaceted approach ensures that every aspect of a campaign is measured accurately, allowing for a comprehensive understanding of its performance. By segmenting data by media channel, marketers can identify which platforms are most effective, be it social media, search engines, or traditional media. Audience segmentation reveals which demographic groups are responding best. Tracking different messages enables a comparison of various creative strategies to see which resonates most with the target audience. Incorporating tools like web forms, QR codes, website calls, text message offers, and promo codes is essential for granular tracking. Web forms can capture lead information and user interests, while QR codes and unique website addresses can trace the customer journey back to specific campaigns or media sources. Tracking phone calls and text messages as response mechanisms offers insights into customer preferences for direct communication. Promo codes not only incentivize purchases, but also track the effectiveness of different marketing channels or campaigns. Our measurement solutions guide smarter budget allocation, ensuring that each dollar is invested in the most impactful areas. Such data-driven decision-making leads to optimized campaign performance, maximized ROI, and the ability to fine-tune strategies based on real-world results. For new Spark Media Group clients, this means their budget is not just spent, but invested in ways that bring measurable, scalable returns.
Now let's review some tracking tools. Google Tag Manager is very important. Every website needs it because we need it to track events, we need to track conversions with Google Analytics 4, and we need it to add pixels from digital platforms so those platforms can track the results on their platform so we can optimize campaigns. There's lots of learning here, but you need Google Analytics 4, and it's all here. It's critical to include that with any kind of marketing campaigns that we're going to be doing, especially if we're going to be tracking conversions. If you have a WordPress site, there's plenty of Google Tag Manager plugins so that you can set it up on your website that way versus doing it hard-coded on the website. So there's options. Here's another video about what we call a conversion linker, which is a really important part of Google Analytics tracking.
Today I want to talk about a tag you should be aware of to track website conversions. The conversion linker. First, let's break down what the conversion linker is. It's a feature within Google Tag Manager that uses first-party cookies to track user interactions on your website. In an era where privacy is paramount, this shift from third-party cookies is crucial. Why is this important? Well, third-party cookies, the old way of tracking, are being phased out due to privacy concerns. First-party cookies, however, are set by your own website, making them more transparent and privacy compliant. The conversion linker allows us to track where our clients' traffic is coming from and how users behave on their sites. This data is gold. It helps us optimize campaigns, allocate budgets effectively, and ultimately, drive better performance for our clients. Why is the GTM conversion linker important for your website? 1. Accurate tracking. For effective digital marketing, knowing where your customers are coming from and what they're doing on your site is vital. The conversion linker helps in accurately tracking these actions. 2. Better decision making. With accurate data, you can make better decisions about where to spend your marketing budget and how to improve your website. 3. Accurate attribution modeling. Understanding where conversions originate is key in attribution and media mix modeling. The conversion linker's precise tracking helps in accurately assessing media buying efforts and investments. At New Spark Media Group, it's an integral part of how we deliver top-notch results for our clients.
Okay, here's another video, cookies versus pixels.
What's the difference between cookies and pixels, particularly in how they track and measure conversions? Let's begin with cookies. Cookies are small pieces of data stored on a user's browser by the website they visit. They play a vital role in remembering user preferences, login details, and browsing history. Cookies are essential in tracking user behavior over time, facilitating personalized experiences and targeted advertising. However, they are limited to the user's browser and rely on continuous access to the user's device. Now, let's talk about pixels. A pixel is a tiny, virtually invisible piece of code embedded on a website or within an email. It fires when a user visits a page or opens an email, sending a signal back to the server. Pixels are instrumental in tracking user interactions in real time, such as clicks, form submissions, and other website activities. They are pivotal in measuring the effectiveness of online campaigns, particularly in conversion tracking. The key difference lies in their application and scope. While cookies collect and store data over time for ongoing user tracking, pixels provide immediate, real-time data about specific user interactions. This distinction is crucial in conversion tracking. Pixels allow marketers to pinpoint the exact moment a user completes a desired action, like making a purchase. This information is vital in assessing the immediate impact of digital marketing efforts. When a user completes a conversion action, the pixel sends this information back to the server, allowing marketers to track the effectiveness of specific ads or campaigns. This real-time feedback is invaluable in optimizing marketing strategies. In summary, while both cookies and pixels are essential tools in digital marketing, they serve different purposes. Cookies provide a broader, longer-term view of user behavior, while pixels offer immediate insights into specific user interactions and are crucial in conversion tracking.
Okay, hope that was helpful from these group of avatars. Again, cookies go on your the computer and the browsers, track everything, and again, it's all about personalizing user experience and how cookies work. And then the pixels, which are basically more into conversion tracking, with analytics, tracking user behavior and how they perform in your website and all the activities that the ad platforms can track because of those pixels are on the Google Tag Manager, as we spoke, so that the platforms can track performance and measure along the way. Here's a little chart, as you can review this at your time, the difference between pixels and cookies. All right, so we think it got you confused already. Now we have first-party versus third-party pixels. First-party, of course, are on your host, and then the third-party pixels are on the tag manager that the platforms give you. So here's a little video of how that works.
First, let's define these terms. First-party pixels are small pieces of code placed on a website by the site's owner. They collect data directly from visitors to that site. This data includes user interactions, behaviors, and conversions that occur on the website. In contrast, third-party pixels are placed by an external entity, such as an ad or social media network. They track user behavior across multiple websites. This broader tracking capability is essential for understanding user behavior on a larger scale and is particularly useful for ad targeting and retargeting. When a user clicks on an ad and completes a desired action like a purchase or a sign-up, it's a conversion. With first-party pixels, you get accurate data on how users interact with your site after clicking an ad. This data is directly under your control and is highly reliable for measuring conversions that happen on your site. It's especially valuable in a privacy-first digital landscape. However, third-party pixels offer a broader view. They can track conversions that might not be directly linked to a single website visit. For example, a user might see an ad, visit several other sites, and then return to make a purchase. Third-party pixels help in attributing such conversions to the initial ad exposure, providing a comprehensive view of the customer journey. But there's a challenge. With increasing privacy concerns and changes like the phasing out of third-party cookies, the effectiveness of third-party pixels in tracking conversions across multiple sites is diminishing. This shift is leading advertisers to seek new methods and technologies that respect privacy while still offering valuable insights. In conclusion, while first-party pixels provide precise, privacy-compliant data for on-site conversions, third-party pixels offer broader insights into the customer journey across the web.
Okay, now here's the difference between third-party pixels and first-party pixels. Again, we're learning about privacy concerns, especially with Google's Chrome with cookies and everything. So there's a lot of different scenarios out there as far as what's going to happen when that and we're going to talk about that in a second. But the first-party pixels tend to be a little more accurate, but third-party pixels give you more information on measurement and also view through conversions, which is basically another conversion that we'll talk about in a minute. So take a look. Here's an example of Facebook pixels, right? And so they have a first party and a third party pixel in their platform. In the top left is the pixel code. That's their third party pixel. We take the event code, put it on Google Tag Manager again, and then create a conversion as well, which is a separate conversion Facebook can give you. This one's called complete registration. Again, it's all for tracking, where their conversions API is their first-party pixel, which goes on your host and can be set up through your developer or your backend host, or it can be also put on, if you have WordPress, I know, is some plugins as well. So let's talk about Google's depreciation of third-party pixels with yet another video.
Ladies and gentlemen, with Google's decision to eliminate third-party cookies by late 2024, we're entering a new phase. This isn't just a challenge, it's an opportunity to embrace innovative advertising methods. The spotlight is now on first-party data. The reliance on third-party cookies for user tracking is fading. Our focus shifts to data collected directly from our websites and apps, with user consent. This includes demographics, browsing habits, and purchase history. This change prioritizes user privacy and transparency. The importance of building direct relationships with our audience is paramount. Engaging with them, encouraging data sharing, and being transparent about data usage is key. We're adopting a model that values user consent and privacy. Contextual targeting is becoming more important. Instead of individual tracking, we're aligning ads with website or app content. This approach ensures ads are relevant to the content being consumed by the audience. Transitioning away from third-party cookies presents challenges. Our reach and targeting precision may decrease, and tracking users across different websites and measuring ad campaign effectiveness becomes more difficult. However, these challenges push us towards innovation and finding new, privacy-friendly methods for gathering insights. In this cookieless future, our focus should include building trust, establish clear data practices and secure robust user consent, leveraging first-party data, utilize advanced tools for effective data analysis, ensuring contextual relevance, create ads that fit the immediate context, avoiding invasive tracking. In conclusion, the end of third-party cookies signals a new chapter in digital advertising. It's a chance to shift towards more privacy-conscious, innovative strategies. This change, while challenging, offers exciting opportunities for growth and deeper consumer engagement.
Okay, moving on. Let's go to more about conversion types in the buyer's journey. So we talked about a view conversion before, which is basically what happens when a user sees an ad, but does not convert, but they do convert, of course, later on a website. That's called a view conversion. And it helps advertisers understand the value of ads that may not lead to a click, but it does make them click later on when they see the message again. Again, this is based on not the website, of course, it's the ads that are being sent out, and the third-party pixels are picking that up because they know when an ad's showing from an advertiser. And but the thing is though is when the Google Chrome cookies are going away, this is not going to be really a valid conversion anymore. But right now we still have it, and it still can be an important part of the overall tracking of your marketing plans, depending on our goals. More about that later. The assisted conversion is basically what happens when somebody clicks on an ad and doesn't convert, but they do come back later through an ad or Google organic searches or email, what have you, to do that conversion, and they're doing it because they first clicked on the message early on. So that's an important part of media strategy and tracking, is where people clicked and contributed to the final conversion. So that's important. Google Analytics 4 has a number of different reports. This is an example of an attribution report. They're data-driven report showing paid and organic channels. You can see there's early touch points, which is click and not convert early on, the first click. You have mid touch points, which is they clicked in the middle of their journey and did not convert. And then late touch points, which is basically the last click conversion. So obviously most people do convert last, but all the other attribution that happens when people click early or mid, there is some contribution to the final conversion. So that's important. Again, it's attribution. Which brings up to the next topic, right? What is marketing attribution? Again, we're tracking views and clicks leading up to the final conversion, and it helps us make the right media and creative decisions, and that means more cost-effective campaigns. So you can look at this story, but basically this is a kind of story where people, see TV ads, they read reviews, click on Google ads, might hear your radio spot. Again, if you're doing all this media, again, this is an exaggerated story. Maybe they'll get an email from you with 20% off and do a final conversion. All of these things are a buyer's journey from initial exposure to a conversion and everything in between. And that's what attribution is all about, giving credit to all those other channels because they all contribute to the final conversion. And again, you want to give credit where credit's due. And that's why there's attribution models, because all of it depends on your business model and the discussion we have as far as what we want to track and what credit we want to give, where the conversions come from. So you have the first touch attribution, which is basically giving all the credit to the conversion to the first touch, because that's where you want to see where people are coming from, at least to originally look at your product or service. Last touch had been the most popular one for Google Analytics itself, which is basically saying, all I care about is how people convert, but you're not taking into account the attribution and the initial interactions. And that's why there's other models here, where we have the linear, which is basically saying every touch point is important to me, so let's give everyone equal rate. Time decay is one of the more popular ones that's saying, well, the last click conversion is most important, but we'll give the mid clicks, contribution, and we'll even give it a little contribution to the first click. So you can see first going up to the highest at the end there. And then you have the position-based or U-shaped attribution model. Again, this is depending on the business you're in. You're giving strong equal credit to the first click and equal credit to the last click, but that also means you may not be giving as much credit to the middle clicks. But we have these samples that we do at NewsSpark, and we talk to clients, and we just put together these strategies based on their business model and the offers we're running, and decide what percentages we want to give each conversion and what model we want to use. Here's another term, look-back window. Basically, it's giving the ad platform a certain amount of days to track those conversions, so that we can again, make these decisions wisely based on how far we want to go back to track conversions. Now, if you have a quick sale or a short-term offer, the 7-day conversion is probably, or the look-back window is probably more important. 30 days is average. That gives people 30 days for the platforms to track. But if you have a really long buying cycle, like in B2B, it could be 60 days or 90 days. So you can see some of the strategies here. You have the 7-day window, which is a short back window. Again, that's for businesses with quick or impulse purchases. The 30 days most common, where it's it balances the more of a quicker buy with a little longer sales cycle. And then the 60 or 90 days for a longer decision making. And all the ad platforms have it. So here's a fun little tour. I mean, here's the TikTok pixel. Again, it shows everything has attribution of options to pick. Their default is a 7-day click and a 1-day view conversion, which we spoke about earlier. But you can also make them 28 days, or the view through conversions up to 7 days. It all depends on how those pixels work and how these platforms are going to set it up. So in order to track conversions, again, based on your business model, what your offer is. Retargeting platforms can go up to 30 days. iOS 14 a year or two ago started limiting cookies on their devices, and because of privacy and those kinds of things, so they don't really go after more than 7 days. So that's been a big issue in digital media, and then also it's the reason why a lot of the platforms, they're stuck at 7 days, because after that the data is not reliable if you have an iPhone 14 Plus. But so we know that with these other platforms there's always going to be some kind of measurement mismatch, but it still can be all relative. Again, depends on the business model. With Meta or Facebook, they follow those iOS rules, and they allow their look back windows for conversions just go back to 7 days, and 1 day for a view through conversion. If you do LinkedIn, a lot of times in B2B there's longer buying cycles, so their look back windows go back even up to 90 days. I always like to do 30 days if possible, but that is option, and you can see all the different kinds of conversions you can track with LinkedIn. That's using their insight tag. Again, that's why you need Google Tag Manager. That's where the codes go, and that's what I do. Pinterest has them 30 days. Native ad networks have them. So you see Tabula and Outbrain. They both do have pixels so that you can track native advertising. Tabula is 30 days and Outbrain is 60 days. Even with Google Ads, you can go 90 days, although the default is 30. Google Ads has plenty of attribution reports. If you have enough data, you could track all the different, as you can see, last click, linear, they have all the models here. As you track all your conversions by each model, you can track the journeys, ad interactions, and how many days between conversions for each campaign, ad groups, things like that. Here's the assisted conversions. So there's plenty of reports in order to track everything on Google Ads. Again, we're just trying to optimize campaigns and spend money wisely and know where conversions are coming from. Streaming radio uses pixels. Yes, they do. Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, we all have pixels that can go on the Google Tag Manager, so that when they basically track your IP addresses at home anyway. So if you're listening to Spotify radio and they pick up the IP address because of the pixel of your house, then if you come back to a website while you're listening to an ad or later on, they can track that conversion because of the pixel. Even OTT platforms can do that, because if you have a smart TV, they know your IP address, and the ads that shoot out, they're picking up your IP of the ad. If you see the ad and come back to a website and convert, let's say within 30 or 40 days, depending on the settings again, they'll track the conversion. They'll give, again, it's all contribution. I saw a TV ad with an offer. I decided to convert, not now, but later on, because it's my IP address. You're picking me up on my computer or my phone, and I do a conversion, there's attribution. So here's how UTM codes work. We mentioned that before about analytics tracking. Again, you're tracking campaigns, mediums, creative, and sources in order to build these programs on Google Analytics 4, so you can track all the conversions, the assisted and the last click conversions, and all those attribution windows. Here's an example of a code showing me on LinkedIn, with a video campaign or video content with a campaign media tracking. There's plenty of Chrome extensions if you have Chrome to track analytics and build your UTM parameter code. Heck, I built one on a custom ChatGPT. So there's a lot of reports out here as we get near the end of our presentation, and what we're talking about here is tracking conversions the right way. And there's a lot of paid platforms out there that have first-party pixels and can track your e-commerce or whatever you're trying to do as far as the attribution goes. I actually created my own tool because none of them did what I wanted, which is combine these attribution models and give all the conversions various weights. So watch this video. It's actually on my website. Here's the attribution page on New Spark Media, and I created my own tool and watch the video.
The right way to track website conversions and measure campaign performance is an attribution tool to give credit to those who saw ads and converted, and those who clicked ads and came back later to convert. There's paid tools out there, but ours does the most, and developed by founder Paul Mosenson. Here's how it works.
First, we enter an agreed-upon attribution model. More about that is on our website, but for this example, we're giving 40% credit to the last click conversion, 30% to the first click, 20% to the middle clicks, and 10% to the view conversions. We take the 100% and multiply by 0.1 to get a total of 10, which we will use as our conversion weights based on this example model.
Then for each medium we are using in our media buy, we create custom segments of audiences we wish to test. Gender, age, buying interests, first-party versus third-party data segments, and more. Each will be tracked with unique URLs, so we can measure it all with Google Analytics.
As stated, each channel and audience segment will have its own unique tracking URL with UTM parameters. Plus, we will define conversions, forms or calls, or both.
For any media buy that includes TV, radio, print, or mail, we will make group decisions on tracking as well. The example shows QR code tracking for TV and vanity URL tracking. Each gets redirected to a UTM tracking URL, again for Google Analytics measurement and reporting.
For media tracking that doesn't involve a direct click to a website, we can also track unique phone numbers, text messages, and promo codes by medium, by message, by audience segment.
Here are 3 examples of tracking URL. One for Facebook, one for a DSP or display ad platform, and one for cable TV with a QR code.
During campaigns, and at the end of campaigns, we'll track all of the conversion data for each channel we are using, separating by view conversions with platform pixels and Google Analytics Path Analysis Report, which tracks click-assisted and last-click conversions by each URL UTM parameter.
Non-direct tracking as well. Above shows texting for broadcast TV segments and a promo code for direct mail, with costs and cost per activity.
Likewise, for each digital source, we'll track the total weighted conversions based on the attribution model, total media spend by segment, and cost per weighted conversion. Then and only then can we make the right media decisions for your firm. It's what we do at New Spark Media Group.
Any questions on this, let us know. It can be intricate, but our goal is to spend your budget wisely, based on results.
Alrighty, as we're getting near the end, here's some examples of testing. Again, these are all exaggerated charts I'm going to show you, but you can see with all the tracking going on, we're targeting 4 different kinds of television. We have 2 demos for each channel. And then we're going to also compare in some channels like cable and OTT, third-party data segments and first-party data segments. And then there's one with Hulu as well. But with 2 demos, how many spots are we going to need? 12, right? Because OTT has 4 different versions, linear is 4, and cable has 4 different versions, broadcast 2 and Hulu 2. And it's the same message, but it's a different tracking mechanism, so we can track the demos that work better, the third party versus first party data, or a combination. If there's enough spend, enough data here, and you're really promoting conversions, including whether it's whatever the offer it is, you need all these different versions in order to track it the right way. Otherwise, you don't know what's working, right? In fact, with all these different channels, OTT, cable, Spotify, and local radio, for example, again, these are non-direct click mediums. You can track form leads, text leads, call leads, chat leads, QR code leads, for example, and put them all together. Example of a test plan. So here we have search, Instagram, iHeartRadio, and OTT. In this exaggerated example, there's 7 different offers, 2 on search, 2 on Instagram, 2 on iHeartRadio. So with every offer, it gets its own landing page, of course. And then what if you want to target various segments? So OTT, you might be doing 4 segments with a free gift. And when we talk about segment, we're talking about target audiences, demos, ages, interests, things like that. iHeartRadio is 2, Instagram maybe 3 segments. So, and then you do your tracking setup. Once anything that's direct digital, you can track the forms and the calls, as we mentioned. D&I again, dynamic number insertion if you want to track phone calls. iHeartRadio, again, there's forms there with attribution, but also texting, right? And then OTT QR code. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. It's just a matter of tracking it the right way. And that's, again, it's all part of that the promotional strategy we put together, and how many ads you're going to need. So all the conversions we talked about earlier is in that one video is giving them weights, right? So the 1 to 10 value, forms could be worth 10 points, calls and texts 5, assisted conversions 3, and view conversions 1. Then you put them all together as weighted conversions. So here's Facebook and YouTube with 2 target segments we're testing. And you can see the total weighted conversions, the media cost per weighted goal, and then decisions we make. So you have the best cost per weighted goal, that works well. Let's give it more budget next time. If it's YouTube segment 2, that's a very high cost per weighted goal, let's cancel that. Everything else we might want to tweak and optimize to see if we can make them work better. Again, it's decision making. Same thing with creative, actually, in this example. You have 4 different ads, different headlines, different images. What works best from a creative standpoint? Weighted conversions, cost per conversion, marketing decisions. The best cost per conversion here is ad 1, keep running for the next media buy. The ones in the middle, maybe tweak them, add a 3rd headline, tweak an image. Number 4, very high cost per conversion, didn't work, remove it from the rotation for next time. So that's it. Are you out of breath? There's a lot here, but watch this in piecemeal. If you got through the end, congratulations. There's a lot here. Contact me if you have any questions. And thank you for watching.